Ephesians 5:11 states, "Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but yet expose them." This is my use of Ephesians 5:11. I used to be a part of a ministry in Missouri called Fellowship of the Martyrs. I've seen a lot of people get hurt down there over the years that I've been there, and even since. There's still a lot of people I care about down there. A lot of people I still consider family that I see struggling, and I pray every day that they get out. Doug Perry is not the man you see on YouTube. He's not the happy-go-lucky, oh, the will of God, his cup's so full it overfloweth unto everybody else. It's all a facade, it's all an act. Everything you see there when he speaks of the holes in the gym shoes, it's all humble boasting, it's all pride. He's got a nice little scam going on that he gets, nickels and dimes from everybody out there in YouTube land that he spends on his little pet projects. Behind the scenes, he's spiritually hurting people. He's emotionally hurting people. Cindy is spiritually hurting people. She's emotionally hurting people. Jesus commands us to look after the widows and the orphans. Now, when his right-hand man backslid, and I love him, he was a dear brother of mine. I prayed for him consistently and tried to help him get out of his mess. But his wife left him because she just couldn't handle it anymore. And that was a whole catalyst and what got me to leave there, is the way they handled that situation. They took a man who's drinking alcohol constantly, doing drugs constantly, and still had him in a ministry role. Praying for people, ministering to people. It is totally unbiblical. They totally demonized his wife, saying that she had no right to leave him when she absolutely endured as much as she could for years. But they want to make you believe that his death was caused by her because she left him. And that's not the case. Anyways, fast forward, he dies, and all of a sudden they want her out. She's a widow. She came back to even endure more after she left, and she's a widow now because he died. And they tell her, you must leave. You don't want any part of us, you must leave. She has 3 kids. One of them, ever since a year ago, she's been in a custody battle because her mother had partial custody of her daughter. I'm trying to get her daughter to come back home to be with her brothers. So now the hypocrite that her mom is using the same ministry that she was against in the initial custody battle. Using Cindy Perry to keep her daughter away from her. And Cindy Perry's doing this. This is a pastor, people, trying to separate a family. And it is just wrong. A pastor has no business separating families. The minute things started going south for those two, they should have been in there speaking to both of them, not demonizing her, not uplifting him. They should have been doing what they could have done to rectify the problem, but instead all Doug Perry does is sit in his trailer, watch stupid YouTube videos all day, sighs every time one of you call him looking for advice, as he silences his phone and sends it off to Cindy. I spent 3 years watching that. And there was me picking up the pieces half the time with people calling me. And I've never done that. Because we are supposed to be there for others and uplift others and admonish others when need be. Because that's what we are called to do. Now move on here. Like I said, they're trying to spread apart this widow's family. Kind of make an orphan out of the daughter, even though she's with the grandmother. They've already pretty much isolated the widow. They tried evicting her out of a trailer that her and her husband agreed to take over after another friend took over theirs. And that's another thing. There is no proper keeping of paperwork. Everything is a sleight of hand. Everything's either owned by a ministry or everybody else in the ministry. Doug Perry does not own anything. His name is not on nothing. And I advise the IRS to be looking into this. The county's already looked into us with the farm and them not paying property taxes the last 2 years. But this whole ministry, it's sad. It's sad. I promised myself I wasn't going to get upset. I've been removed a year and I still hurt over this. Like I said, there's people there I love. There's people there I care about. People there I do not want to see led astray or kicked out in the streets last minute because of the irresponsibility of one man who's supposed to be a leader, who's supposed to be a pastor. And as much as I hate using the A word, everybody looks at him as being an apostle, which he is not. Doug Perry is a snake oil salesman. He sells a bill of goods on YouTube to you, thinking he has all the answers. When in the end, he doesn't care. When in the end, he's tried to rip off a widow by trying to evict her out of a home that they had a verbal agreement on. Yes, she didn't have it on paperwork, but when she had the title for her home and tried to get her home back, he still denied it. It took her going to the county courthouse to get a signed, certified copy of the title with the address saying, this is my home and I want the people in it vacated. They finally say, well, we'll do even trade. After, and I got messages, I'm going to back this up. I got screenshots and messages, him saying, I want you out so I can destroy it and condemn it. And now all of a sudden, since she's got a title, you want to give it to her, Doug, because you're such a good guy. Your whole mantra is be nice. Be nice, just be nice. Treat the widow like crap, but just be nice. Try to divide a family, take a daughter away, just be nice. You need to take your old advice, Doug. You really do. And I've done nothing but pray for you since I left. That you would just stop and that you would repent. And even just confess that you were wrong and repent from your wicked ways. But you're run by pride. You're run by your own vain imaginations, Doug. God did not give you the red dragon to share to the world. God gave you the red dragon because you're under a red dragon. You're under a delusion, Doug Perry. And I pray for your soul. I pray that there's an ounce of truth to what you said in the past and that you can be redeemed. Because right now you're on a dark path.